Faithful. It's about that time. 5 o'clock. Faithful. Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. Whew. It's so good to be in front of the faithful, in front of the Niner Empire, the best fans in the NFL. And crazy trade, obviously. The first time, I believe it's the first time the 49ers have ever traded up into the top three of the NFL draft. Faithful, can you believe it? We haven't traded, or excuse me, we haven't picked a quarterback in the first round since 2005. You guys remember who we picked then? Alex Smith. And this trade not only details the future of Jimmy G, but also that the 49ers, and make no mistake about it, this is Shanahan's move. This is Shanahan telling Lynch, we need to get a better option at quarterback for the future. And clearly, Jimmy G, he just ain't cutting it. And Shanahan is pushing all his chips. He's pushing all his chips to the middle of the table. And I know this show is all about the 49er fans. I want to see you guys' comments. I want to see you guys interacting with me, your boy, Jay in the Bay. And we're going to get into who do you think the Niners should select at the third pick in the draft. Because I think we all know that the Jags are going to select Trevor Lawrence. And second, all signs are pointing to the Jets selecting Zach Wilson. So we'll see who you guys think is the best option for Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers going forward. But first, let's say what's up to everyone in the chat. Damian Lee, thanks for coming through. First comment of the show, man. Appreciate you coming through. It looks like he says, Kyle doesn't develop quarterbacks, and he's wasting our picks on running quarterbacks he won't develop. He didn't develop Jimmy or Nick Mullins. Wow, shots fired. Tell me how you really feel, Damian. Well, when Kyle was with the Washington football team, he was offensive coordinator, and his dad, Mike Shanahan, was the head coach. They drafted RG3 and Kirk Cousins. RG3 had an excellent rookie season with the Washington football team. Part of that was, Mike Shanahan, and then part of that was Kyle. Kyle was calling the plays, and of course, he helped develop RG3 into a excellent quarterback. He had an excellent rookie season. Matt Ryan had his best years as a professional under the tutelage of Kyle Shanahan as the offensive coordinator. He took the Atlanta Falcons to the Super Bowl, and since Shanahan has left, the Falcons haven't really been the same team. Now you look at Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins went undrafted for a reason. I think it's pretty clear that there's a reason why Nick Mullins went undrafted. And Jimmy G, I think he's developed Jimmy G. I think Jimmy G is a solid quarterback. Obviously, he spent the bulk of his career with the New England Patriots, and I think Jimmy G, he's a solid above average quarterback. And we lost that Super Bowl as a team. Can't blame Jimmy. Can't blame it all on the defense. Obviously, Jimmy G didn't play his best fourth quarter ever, but I want to see. What's intriguing about this pick is we get to see who is Shanahan's guy. That's what we get to see. Who is Shanahan's guy? Because clearly, I'm sure the Niners tried to trade up with the Jets for their pick, but the Jets are set on getting a quarterback, so there's no way they would have traded back out of that number 2 pick. So who does Shanahan value? Obviously, we got Justin Fields, Ohio State Buckeyes. You got Trey Lance, North Dakota State, and then Mac Jones. And I'm eager to see who is Shanahan's guy, who's his hand-picked guy, because Shanahan really liked Kirk Cousins. And how do you guys feel about Kirk Cousins? He's a solid above-average quarterback. Kirk Cousins is solid. And this is also the same person, Shanahan, who passed up on Pat Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. So I'm eager to see who is Shanahan's guy. 49ers Ultimate What's good? Thanks for coming through, John J. Keep pushing out that excellent content, man. Thanks for coming through to the stream. Redder 4, what's good, man? Thanks for coming through. JH Sports, what's good? Thanks for coming through, man. And I enjoy your channel, JH Sports. I would definitely check out more of your content. Looks like Redder 4 says you guys getting Fields. Yeah, I've been looking at a few mock drafts before I came on, and a lot of people, it seems like more people are saying we're going to select Trey Lance over, over Justin Fields. So the knock on Trey Lance I see is he didn't play at a big college. He still played Division I, but he didn't play against the elite talent that Justin Fields played against at Ohio State. And looking through some of the Trey Lance stats, I believe he threw for 40 touchdowns last year. He didn't even throw an interception. I mean, that's incredible for a college athlete to not throw an interception. And he's being compared to Lamar Jackson. That's Trey Lance. And, Lamar he's a pretty good quarterback. But when the team has to rely on him to throw the ball, there is, he's not the most accurate quarterback. So that is a knock on Trey Lance. And Justin Fields, he's performed at the highest level. He performed on some of the biggest stages, and Fields has played excellent. It just seems like there's more intrigue about Lance. He's a little bit more raw as a quarterback. So yeah, I'm excited to see who is Shanahan's guy. That's what I'm most excited to see. Who is Shanahan's guy? And it looks like we got It's Golden Grizz YouTube Productions. What's good? Thanks for coming through, man. I appreciate you joining the stream. And it looks like Redder says, the 49ers should get Fields. All righty. We got a Seahawks fan up in here. What's good? I can't wait till we meet in the regular season this year. Speaking of the regular season, I hear it's going to be a 17-game season this year. That should be interesting. And the NFC West is going to be tough. It's going to be no joke. So it looks like we got another person who says, looks like he's looking at Justin Fields. He thinks it'll be Justin Fields. Now, one thing that this trade up made it clear to me was that Jimmy G's future with the team is in question. And it seems like there's always been this, this noise about Jimmy G and he's not good enough and things like that. But faithful Niner Empire, let a brother know in the comments, should Jimmy G be the starting quarterback next year? What do you guys think? Let me know. Because obviously we're going to take a rookie quarterback. But who thinks that we should draft a rookie quarterback, allow him to start the season day one, or should we keep Jimmy G and Jimmy G can teach the rookie quarterback, the system? Because Kyle Shanahan's system is, it's not the easiest system to learn, especially for a rookie quarterback. And the biggest transition from college to pros is the speed of the game. That's a huge deal. The speed of the game is something that is a huge difference comparing college to NFL. And not only, we're going to be going up against some of the best defenses in the NFC West that we're going to have to play twice a year. You guys sure you want to put a rookie quarterback in to face off against, Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, J.J. Watt, Chandler Jones, Kerry Hyder, and who's the other end? And the Seahawks signed back. What was his name? The defensive end. His name is escaping me right now, but he was traded. I think it's not Carl Lawson. I forgot. Carlos Dunlap. That's who it was. Carlos Dunlap and Kerry Hyder. So the defensive line in the NFC West is going to be tough. Are you sure you want to throw a rookie quarterback in there? I think I would probably stick with Jimmy G. Let's go back to the comments. Enjoy my world. What's good? Thanks for coming through. Repping your ATL Falcons. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you coming through to the stream, and I enjoy your videos. Keep doing what you do. Enjoy my world. 49ers Ultimate Report. What's good, John J? It's like Jimmy G days are numbered. The NFL is business. Jimmy G is not bad, but if the Niners can upgrade the quarterback position, they pretty much will. Yeah, I respect that. I think every position you can kind of it's kind of based on a year by year basis. based on your previous year's performance. And unfortunately, Jimmy G has left doubt in fans and in the coach's eyes because he can't stay healthy. I guess you could say it's not necessarily his fault. There were issues with the offensive line. The torn ACL was definitely his fault. Obviously he didn't. He's not. He's not. He didn't get injured on purpose, obviously. But the torn ACL probably was not the offensive line fault. He was running out of bounds against KC, and it was kind of like a fluke injury. But unfortunately, the quarterback, the best ability is availability. And unfortunately, Jimmy G hasn't been available for a significant amount of games. And that's part of the reason why the Niners are looking to, draft a quarterback. Bay Area Baller 18. What's good, man? Thanks for coming through to the stream. He says, let's get our stud quarterback. So Bay Area Baller, who do you think we should get as the rookie quarterback, third overall pick? Let me know in the comments. Terror Artist 404. I'm enjoying your Madden vlogs, Terror Artist 404, and good luck to your Falcons in the draft in the offseason. Looks like Enjoy My World says, mind your business. 49ers, Lakers for life. Let's go Niners. Exactly. Thanks for coming on through the stream. And looks like Niners all day 55. What's up, Jay? Thanks for coming through, man. I appreciate you coming through. Oh, it looks like Enjoy My World was talking to 404. Looks like Niners all day. We got another person saying Fields to the Bay. I think that's 3 people so far in the stream that said, Fields should be drafted by the Niners. I don't think anyone has said Trey Lance just yet, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, Fields seems to be the more popular pick. It seems like with Trey Lance, obviously he didn't have the same competition that Fields had, but it seems to be a little bit more mysteriousness about him. I'm more intrigued by Lance because they compare him to Lamar Jackson, and that would be very exciting to see a quarterback play like Lamar Jackson on your team. You just hope that he can have that pocket presence. He can feel the rush before it gets there. He has that outside throwing accuracy. You just hope that he can do those things as well. Looks like Redder 4 says, in my opinion, Trey Lance is a book or bust. Yeah, it's interesting with the third overall pick the Niners have. In years past, usually you don't get a team that has the talent that the Niners have picking in the top 5. So honestly, I feel like whatever quarterback we go with, whether it's Lance, I highly doubt we'll get Mac Jones, but if it's Lance or Fields, I feel like both quarterbacks should do well in Shanahan's system. We have the weapons on the offensive side of the ball. We solidified the offensive line this offseason. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see with Lance. Can he transition to the NFL? Can he make the throws? Because in college, he was throwing to a lot of guys that were wide open. I guess you could say the same with Fields. But, guys in the NFL don't usually run wide open that much. If they do, it's usually because of some broken coverage. Niners all day. What has Trey Lance done that is better than Fields? Yeah, that's a great question. What I've seen from Trey Lance is just that he's a little bit faster, and he looks to run more often than Fields. That's what I've noticed. And that's not necessarily, it's not necessarily a good thing. Obviously you want a quarterback to stand in the pocket, read the defense, feel the pressure, get rid of the ball to the receivers and do it accurately, underneath between, 5 to 10 yards and also outside the numbers, maybe, 10 to 15 yards. But that's a great point. Lance hasn't really done anything better than Fields as far as throwing the ball. So that's a very good point. Pac-Man Sports, what's good? I'm hearing some buzz about Mac Jones at 3. What do you think? Yeah, I've heard about that too. The knock on Mac Jones is obviously he's not as athletic as Lance or Fields. He's played with talent around him at Bama. There's potentially pro NFL players literally at every position on offense and defense. So unfortunately, that's gone against Mac Jones for some reason. I guess they feel like, well, he has all this talent around him in the NFL where every team is talented. How will he perform? That's Mac Jones. But I'd be surprised because I don't think the Niners would have had to move into the top 3 to get Mac Jones. I think they could have probably stood pat at pick 12 if they really wanted to get Mac Jones or trade. They didn't have to trade as far up in the draft. I don't feel like Mac Jones is a top 3 pick because I feel like the Jags will get Lawrence. The Jets will get Wilson. And then even if the Dolphins, I don't think the Dolphins were interested in Mac Jones when they were at pick 3. So I don't think the Niners would trade all that capital to get Mac Jones. Looks like Redder 4 agrees with me. Nah, he doesn't think Mac Jones would be selected that high. I kind of agree. And Redder says it's too high. It's too high for him. So I definitely agree with that. So, but that trade, like I said before, it signifies the writing on the wall for Jimmy. Unfortunately, Jimmy will, his clock is ticking right now. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think Jimmy G should be the starter next year, or do you think we should start off the season with a rookie quarterback? I could see us starting off the season with a rookie quarterback if we weren't a contending team. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the Niners are still a Super Bowl contending team. We have the roster. I feel like we could add a few more players, maybe, wide receiver or edge rusher. I feel like we can get another veteran presence at those positions. But I still feel like we have a Super Bowl ready team. And, no rookie quarterback has ever took their team to the Super Bowl. And no rookie quarterback, has led their team to a deep playoff run. I believe Ben Roethlisberger did his first year, but they didn't go to the Super Bowl. I think they won one playoff game and then they lost the next game. So, the history for a rookie quarterback dominating the NFL deep into the playoff season and the Super Bowl, it just doesn't exist. So, I think we should definitely stick with Jimmy at least this year and let the young rookie quarterback learn under Jimmy. Looks like Niners all day agrees with me. And Redder says, in my opinion, Mac ain't worth number 3. Yeah, I agree. I think that would be too high for Mac Jones. I mean, he had an excellent career. You really can't have a better career than Mac Jones, except he didn't win the Heisman. But obviously, that's only one player per year. But looks like Redder says, yeah, Mac Jones at 3 is a reach. So, and let's see, Niners all day says, I say we keep Jimmy and teach the rookie our system. So I agree with that. Yeah, I definitely think because what do we have to lose by keeping Jimmy? I don't think we have anything to lose by keeping Jimmy, unless the team gives us an offer we can't refuse. Like if it was like a first round pick and a second round pick, but that's something I was thinking about earlier today. Like what team is still needs a quarterback? Obviously, you would think the Patriots because they've been rumored to be interested in Jimmy G, but they got Cam, and I don't think they want to pay 2 quarterbacks. What Cam is making $13 million, Jimmy is making like 24. I don't think they want to pay 2 quarterbacks over $30 million, to play, next season. So I don't know about the Patriots, but they have been obviously rumored to be interested in Jimmy G. I'm trying to think, are there any other Chicago Bears? I mean, they got Dalton. Who's better, Dalton or Jimmy? I would take Jimmy at this point. I'm trying to think of any other teams that would be willing to trade for Jimmy G. I don't. Let me know in the comments. You think any quarterbacks, or excuse me, any teams that would be interested in trading Jimmy G? Because I don't see. I guess there's three chances or 3 opportunities for Jimmy G this season. Either the 49ers cut him, which I think is the least likely. We trade him, or we keep Jimmy and have him start. But Lynch said that Jimmy G is still in, the quarterback plans for the Niners. So obviously he has to say that, right? I mean, he has to say that, but hopefully we keep Jimmy. I just don't feel like there's any reason not, unless, the Niners really want to save that amount of salary cap, which would be, it could be like $22 million they would save if they cut or trade Jimmy. But then who will be the starter? I mean, do you really want to entrust the season? Because we're still contenders. You really want to trust the season to a rookie quarterback? I just don't see it. That would be a stretch. It would be exciting, but it would be a stretch for sure. It's like better. I think 49ers should take Justin Fields and let Jimmy G mentor him for a year, then release or trade Jimmy. I'm assuming you mean like next year. Yeah, no, that's what I agree. It's like Niners all day. Feels the same way. Take Justin Fields and let Jimmy G mentor him. So. And a lot of teams have done that. When the Chiefs got Pat Mahomes, they traded up to get Pat Mahomes at pick 10, I believe. The Chiefs had Alex Smith. Alex Smith played that season. They had a great year, but Andy Reid wanted to, you know, swing for a grand slam instead of just trying to get a single or a double, and he went with Pat Mahomes the next year. Also, when the Packers drafted Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre was there, and Rodgers learned under Brett Favre. I'm trying to think who else. Even when Drew Brees was in San Diego, Phillip Rivers was drafted, and Phillip Rivers sat behind Drew Brees for 1 year, and then Drew Brees signed with New Orleans the following year. So there's definitely precedent of drafting a rookie quarterback, having him sit, learn the system, because it's a different game in the NFL. The speed of the game is different. Everyone's fast in the NFL, and it's just a different game comparing college to NFL. Obviously, there is precedent also for rookie quarterbacks starting the season. Burrow started in Cincy, but I think that's because, Cincy is not a playoff team. So they really had nothing to lose by starting Burrow. And Justin Herbert, Chargers quarterback, he kind of started by fluke. Tyrod Taylor was supposed to start the season. He did start the season, but then he got taken out by his own doctor. And then Tyrod Taylor missed a few games, and then they stuck with Herbert. So that was kind of by accident, but there's definitely precedent for both ways. But I think we should stick with the Jimmy G and having Jimmy G mentor the rookie quarterback. Pac-Man Sports, I agree. Mac might be a late first or early second. Yeah, I mean, I could see the Patriots. I think the Patriots have I think their pick is between like 13 and 18, I think the Patriots have. Patriots are rumored to be interested in Mac Jones. He could sit behind Cam, learn the system, and, see what happens with that. Pac-Man Sports, yeah, Dunlap. Yeah, Dunlap was the pass rusher for the Seahawks. I mean, the NFC West has some pass rushers. And how do you think a rookie quarterback will fare against that? I mean, I'm sure Shanahan would want the quarterback to get the ball out the system quick because you're going to have to. Even when you got Trent Williams and McGlinchey, on the offensive line, you only have about 3 to 4 seconds to get rid of the ball. It's like Damian Lee. Jimmy G is good, but health is a problem. I would like to take Pitts or Devontae at 3. I think you're saying the wide receiver from so the tight end from Florida and then the wide receiver from Bama. I mean, that's pretty high to take a tight end receiver. I guess receiver at 3, this has definitely been done before. I mean, that would be pretty good if we took a receiver. But the only thing is, Damian, we traded up all that capital. We traded up way too much capital to take a tight end or a receiver in the top 3. Like, giving up this year's first, next year's first and third round, and then also the following year another first. So in total, about 4 picks. I think that's too much to trade into the top 3 to get a wide receiver or tight end. Obviously those players are excellent, but that's too much capital to not get a quarterback. Mystical Mixes, what's good? Thanks for coming through. Let's see. Niners all day. I think it's a quarterback, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be. Niners all day, it's got to be. All that draft capital, and future picks and things like that, it has to be a quarterback, because that's the position where, Shanahan doesn't have his guy. So I think it's safe to say that, I think the situation was just right for Jimmy. We traded for him. It was only a second-round pick. He balled out, and he was due for a contract. And, quarterbacks, usually they're the highest-paid players on the team if you have a good one. And, that's why we gave Jimmy G that massive contract extension. But I think his days, unfortunately, are numbered as a 49er. Looks like 49ers ultimate report. The biggest question will be if Jimmy is gone right now or the bridge. Yeah, I think we definitely should. I think it would be exciting if the rookie quarterback started. Like, that would be pretty exciting to watch. But I think another question is, will that rookie quarterback coming out of college, will they be better than a seasoned vet in Jimmy G? And I just don't think that's the case. Could they be more exciting? Sure. Would they make more mistakes than Jimmy? Most likely. So I think that's why we keep Jimmy as our bridge quarterback. It's like Darsh TV says, "Go Packers!" Thanks for coming through, Darsh. Good luck to your Packers this year. Let's see. And Jordan Wells says, "You saw my comment late. It was about us being terrible after Shanny. That's fun. Yeah, unfortunately, after Shanahan left, it was after Shanahan left, it was all downhill from there. I can't wait to play the good old ATL Falcons this year. That's gonna be an interesting game. I can't wait. R&B Bros, thanks for coming through. I appreciate all your updates on the 49ers, and I enjoy watching your YouTube channel. Shout out to R&B Bros. Let's see. He says, or they say, whoever is the quarterback is going to be in good hands because they'll be under a great coaching staff. Now, I agree. And not only will they be under a great coaching staff, they have a great supporting cast around them. You know, you got Debo, you got the Ayuk show, Brandon Ayuk, you got the best tight end in the NFL, George Kittle, and then you got a revamped offensive line. I think we probably have the best offensive line in the NFC West and possibly in the NFC. So the quarterback will be protected. The offensive line can open holes for the running game. That's another thing, with Jimmy G being the starter, it seemed like Shanahan wanted to, make the run game a major component of the offense. I think a running game helps any quarterback in the NFL, takes pressure off the quarterback, it makes that defensive line have to watch for the running game instead of just pinning their ears back and running after the quarterback. And even if the rookie quarterback does start, I think the running game was definitely going to be prominent. And also what Jimmy G does great is the play action. You fake the ball off to the running back that gets the linebackers moving toward the offensive line, and then the wide receivers could run behind the linebackers, and that's why Kittle's always open on those crossing routes and things like that, and that's because of the play action. So Jimmy G excels at that. Looks like Redder, sorry, I'm in boom, no worries. Looks like Daniel says OSU quarterbacks are bad in the NFL. Yeah, that is true. Haskins came out, but with Haskins, it seemed like his work ethic wasn't where it should be for the NFL. But yeah, he definitely did not represent OSU well after he was drafted. And you could say the same thing about Alabama. Alabama quarterbacks haven't, really played well in the NFL. The jury is still out on Tua, but it looks like they're sold on, Tua as their starting quarterback by trading, down in the draft and getting more draft capital. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Fields. Gabe Cortez says no Wilson. Thanks for coming through, Gabe. Man, I appreciate you watching the stream. So with Zach Wilson, quarterback out of BYU, it seems like a lot of mock drafts have the New York Jets selecting Zach Wilson. So if that's the case, obviously he won't be available for the 49ers. And, with Zach Wilson, very promising player, but I think the Jets, by not trading down in the draft, I think that told everyone that they want to stand pat to select their quarterback of the future. Because if the Jets were sold on Darnold, why not trade back with the Niners? You get more draft picks for the future to develop around Sam Darnold. But it seems to me that the Jets will get a quarterback. Now, what will be interesting is if the Jets don't get a quarterback, the Jets get a wide receiver or offensive lineman or something like that, which is very possible, but it just doesn't seem likely. It seems like the Jets want to take Wilson. Then the Niners would be, the Niners would have a plethora of quarterbacks to choose from. If that's the case, if the Jets don't select Wilson, then I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners select Wilson out of BYU. So. And it looks like Clam 10 says, yo, what's good, man? Thanks for coming on to the stream. Looks like Redder forces Wilson going to the Jets. Interesting. Yeah. I'd be shocked by that. I'd be happy. Obviously, if the Seahawks trade Russell Wilson out the NFC West, but we'll see what happens. I'd be shocked if the Seahawks trade Russell Wilson, but that would be intriguing. Let's see, Darsh TV. What's popping? Thanks for coming through, Darsh TV. Appreciate your support. Looks like Niners all day, 55. Looks like Fields ran an unofficial 4.41, so he's pretty fast, as well. And as you know, I will be with Fields all the way. Yeah, I'm intrigued. But Fields and Lance, I just don't see the huge difference other than Fields played, quarterback for Ohio State, I think the last 2 seasons. And I think did Lance play? I'm not sure if Lance played all 3 years and started. But the big difference is, obviously at Ohio State, you play tougher competition than at North Dakota State. So, it's intriguing. And I'm curious, who is Shanahan's guy? Like, what does he want? Obviously, Shanahan wants an accurate thrower of the football. He wants someone that can read the defense. He wants someone, that knows check down, someone that can feel the pressure before the pressure gets to the quarterback. And who is his guy? Who is Shanahan's guy? Because Shanahan's reputation is definitely on the line. This is obviously his move. This isn't Lynch's move. This is Shanahan's move. Shanahan wants to get his quarterback, and this will be the first time he can actually select the quarterback he wants. So let's see. Clam 10 says Fields will be the best quarterback of this draft. Man, we're getting a lot of love for Justin Fields. I don't think I've heard one person say Trey Lance. Yeah, Fields we'll see. Time will tell. Because it's possible that 4 quarterbacks could be drafted, in the first round. I think that would be the first time it's ever happened. If the Jags get Lawrence, the Jets get Wilson, we get, Fields or Trey Lance, and then I think who's next? The Falcons. They could be in the running for a quarterback to replace Matt Ryan. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Let's see. Niners all day. You can't base the player off the school, base the player off the child. That's very true. But unfortunately, that's something that you can definitely look at because so what's going on? Like, for instance, the quarterbacks of Alabama, they all play well in college. A lot of them won a national title, but for some reason they don't excel in the NFL. But also it's all about, and you make a great point, Niners all day, it's about the situation that the player gets drafted to. I mean, if you're a quarterback in this year's draft, wouldn't you want to get drafted by the 49ers? I mean, we got a plethora of talent on both sides of the ball, and we aren't a team that has this much talent that's usually picking in the top 5 of an NFL draft. Usually that's not the case. Usually it's a team like Jacksonville who's rebuilding their entire team. They're adding weapons on offense and defense. The Jets are not a playoff team of the last few years. Neither are the Jaguars. Atlanta hasn't been the same since Shanahan left, so they're rebuilding their team as well. So if you're a quarterback, wouldn't you want to go to the red and go, baby? So whoever quarterback we get, they will be in the best situation out of all the top 4 or 5 quarterbacks, no doubt. Niners have best play caller in football with Shanahan, one of the best play designers, and also the best overall talent. So it's like Niners all day agrees with Clam. No doubt. Let's see. 49ers Ultimate Report. One thing that is true, Fields is tough. He got hurt during the college football playoff game versus Clemson, and he came back in and finished the game. Yeah, that was pretty cool to see. He took a mean shot to the ribs, and he fought back, and he played in the rest of the game. So that was a huge deal by Fields. But I feel like a lot of NFL players are tough. Fields showed it at the highest stage though in the college football playoff game. So let's see. Darsh TV says Mac Jones isn't a top 3 pick at all. Yeah, I agree with you, Darsh. And also a few other people who are in the chat said the same thing as well, that Mac Jones isn't a top 3 pick, and for the Niners to trade up into the top 3 with all that draft capital, there's no way we would take Mac Jones. Because I feel like Mac Jones could be picked. We could have stood pat at 12 if we wanted, Mac Jones. So let's see, Niners all day. So true. He didn't give up so fast and led his team to victory over Clemson. Exactly. He fought hard, and he showed great heart and grit in getting his team to a victory. Looks like John Lynch has confirmed that we're drafting a quarterback, and Jimmy will be the starter next season. Yep. Yeah, Lynch did say that. That Jimmy G is still in the plans for the 49ers for the upcoming season. And I wonder how many games Jimmy G will start. Like, let's say if we start off the season like 6-2, there'll be no reason to put in a rookie quarterback. Now Jimmy struggles, which I'll be surprised by, unless he's hurt or something. But if Jimmy G's healthy, I feel like he still gives us the best chance to win. And with all the weapons that we have on offense, I feel like Jimmy G is the right quarterback for the team. So yeah, if the team struggles out the gate and Jimmy G's turning over the ball and things like that, you might be hearing murmurs from the fans to put the rookie in. Do the 49ers have a second now? Yes. Hey, that's a great question. The 49ers do have a second. Here's a list of all our draft picks. So the 49ers, obviously, we got the first overall. We have the first round, third pick overall. We have a second round pick, which is pick number 43. We have a third round pick, fourth round pick, and then I think we have 3 fifth round picks, a sixth round pick, and a seventh round pick. So we still have a lot of picks, but Redder, that's a great question because the Niners still have needs at certain positions. I still feel like we need to get we still need another corner, and that's a funny thing. That's the funny thing is we were projected to pick a corner, with the 12th overall pick, and obviously that won't come to fruition now. So we'll have to get a cornerback, in the second or third round, and obviously they probably won't be as talented, as some of the top corners that were coming out of the draft. So the 49ers, we're banking a lot on Jason Verrett and Emmanuel Mosley to stay healthy, and Verrett had an excellent year last year, but some could say that's a blip, not a trend. He's only been healthy. I think this is the second year he played double-digit games in his career. So, so this is a huge risk. Shanahan is pushing his chips all the way to the middle of the table, and he's betting it all, on a quarterback. So we will see. Let's see. Yeah, that will most likely happen. Let's see. Redder says, "Did they trade it?" No, we still have we still have multiple picks in the draft. Looks like Enjoy My World says Mahomes didn't. Yeah, Mahomes did not start his rookie year. He sat behind Alex Smith. Alex Smith led the Chiefs to the playoffs, and then after that year, they decided Andy Reid and the Chiefs decided to. I think they traded Alex Smith. I think they traded him to Washington, I believe. And the rest is history. Then Mahomes obviously started the rest of his games. But great question. Enjoy My World. Damian Lee says, "I want Ryan Kerrigan." No, exactly. I feel the same way. We need to get, a veteran edge rusher. Ryan Kerrigan is still out there. Justin Houston is still out there. And I think, Carlos Dunlap, obviously, he's re-signed with Seattle. But those are two of the main guys that are still out there, Ryan Kerrigan and, Justin Houston. And obviously what helps the secondary and what helps every line of the defensive line, backers, secondary is the pass rush, baby. That was great during the Super Bowl run was our pass rush, and we have to continue. That has to continue to be a strength of the defense is the pass rush. We have to have someone else line up on the edge besides Bosa. D Ford, who knows? He's had neck, back injuries. There was a report that he was working out at the team facility, which is great. But, at this point of his career, I don't think D Ford is a 3-down defensive end. I think he should just come in, passing, obvious passing situations, and he can rush the quarterback. I think Samson E. Buchan, I think he's a solid player. We'll see what he does. But I want us to get another edge rusher. Eric Armstead, faithful. What y'all think about Eric Armstead? I think he's better matched up inside, next to Ken Law or DJ Jones, but maybe he'll have a bounce back year. We'll definitely need Armstead to have a bounce back year. Maybe that's what the Niners are hoping for, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Looks like Alex says, "Nah, rookies are ready right now." All right, Alex. Okay. Well, you're the first person who says, we should start the rookie quarterback. So obviously you think we should either trade or cut Jimmy G. Let's see. Looks like Alex says, "Look at Tua last year. Give the rookie the real game experience." So you're saying the same Tua last year who played with Miami, who shouldn't have started, who for some reason was started over Fitz Magic. And wasn't Tua benched like 2 or 3 times last year? Tua clearly didn't have it, baby. There's a reason Tua got benched. I mean, Fitzmagic when he was in there, when Fitzmagic comes in and expectations aren't high, Fitzmagic plays really well. But I think he's going to start with the Washington football team. We'll see what they do there. But when Fitzmagic has high expectations placed on him, usually he crumbles. But, Fitzmagic was the better quarterback for the Miami Dolphins last year. I don't think anyone who saw their games can dispute that. Tua, there were times where he looked good and there were times where he looked bad, and that's why he got benched. But some rookies who come in at quarterback play well, like Herbert and Burrow, and then some who come in and struggle, kind of like how Tua did. But hopefully the Dolphins continue to build around Tua, and hopefully he has a successful season. Just like Darsh says, I personally think the Niners should give Jimmy G a second chance. Now, I agree with you, Darsh. And the reason I say that is because, when Jimmy G was healthy, he was integral in getting us to the Super Bowl, baby. And, I think that we should stick with Jimmy, especially this season, and see how it goes. But I would be shocked if Jimmy G is kept throughout the remainder of his contract. He's got 2 years left. I would be shocked since we're drafting a quarterback so high this year. But maybe Jimmy G. So the Niners are in a perfect situation. You draft a rookie quarterback, right? Jimmy G, maybe it lights a fire under Jimmy G. Maybe he balls out. He plays better than he's ever played before. And then let's say we go to the Super Bowl. We win the Super Bowl. Obviously, there'll be some people say, oh, let's keep Jimmy. Other people say, well, his value is so high right now, I might as well trade him. Then maybe you could get a first-round pick for Jimmy or something like that. So Niners are sitting pretty. We're in a good situation. Daniel Lee says, trade McGlinchey and get a solid replacement for him. Yeah, I would. I agree with that because I'm thinking long-term with McGlinchey. We broke the bank for Trent Williams, a silverback. He deserved every penny he got. But usually you don't sign another offensive tackle, top 10, top 12 tackle money, because those funds are already invested in Trent Williams. So I don't think McGlinchey will be here long term because, when he's a free agent, he's not going to, he's going to want to get top 10 tackle money. He's not going to probably settle for anything less. So yeah, that it might be wise for the Niners to, trade McGlinchey now. I think we do have a right tackle behind him now who could possibly start. But yeah, we should definitely trade McGlinchey. We could get a draft pick for him and use that draft pick to draft a tackle. So I think that would be a wise decision. Looks like Darsh TV says Jets. Okay, and then Niners All Day says, I say we draft Fields, then let Jimmy teach him, then go from there. No, I agree. I definitely agree with that. Looks like Damian Lee says the Saints would take Jimmy G. Well, that'd be interesting. The Saints, they still have Taysom Hill, and they still have Jameis Winston. So, Jameis Winston or Jimmy G, I'll probably take Jimmy right now, But, Jameis should play better, under the Saints. But, Jameis with Tampa Bay, he had all those weapons, and he still, he threw 30 TDs and 30 INTs. But that'd be interesting if the Saints, traded for Jimmy G. Let's see. R&B Bros go Niners. Exactly. Let's see. I got to go back up. I think we were there. Okay. I see. Yeah, Damian Lee thinks the Saints would take Jimmy G and Niners All Day. I think Fields is a pick because of the chemistry him and Kyle have because of the quarterback camp, and he knows what he can do. Yeah. I saw that photo as well where they're in the quarterback camp. But we'll see what happens. We'll see because there's, I've seen my drafts where some people think we'll take Trey Lance. So, great point, Pac-Man Sports. With Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, was drafted in the first round last year, and he's developing behind Aaron Rodgers. So, like I said, there's definitely precedent of, drafting a rookie quarterback and having them sit behind a veteran quarterback. So, great point. Pac-Man Sports, Patrick developed behind Alex Smith. Exactly. Darsh TV says Saints could use Jimmy G. I mean, maybe. I mean, they got Jameis, and he's on a 1-year contract. Jimmy would have 2 years left on his. They're voidable years, though, but that may be interesting. Looks like Niners all day. You don't trade all that for recover. We're getting, or I think you meant for a receiver, but we're getting a quarterback. Yeah, yeah, that's way that's way too much draft capital to just select a receiver or another skill position. To give up what 4 picks and 3 of them being first round picks. Yeah, we're definitely getting definitely getting a quarterback. So, Redder says he thinks Jameis is the Saint. Yeah, I think so. I would be shocked if the Saints trade for Jimmy G unless they traded Winston away, because they still have Taysom Hill, they still have Winston, and I don't think they would be paying. There's no way they would keep Taysom Hill, Winston, and Jimmy G. I don't think so. They would be allocating over $30 million to 3 quarterbacks. No, I don't think they would do that. He says the Saints franchise QB. Now, I don't know about that, Redder. Might be going a little bit too far about that. I don't know if Jameis is the franchise yet. We'll see what he does. He's got a 1-year contract. He's got talent around him on both sides of the ball with the Saints, and he's in a good situation. So we'll see what Jameis does. And he's got that LASIK. He had the issue with his vision when he was in Tampa, and for some reason I don't know why he didn't get it fixed, but now he got that LASIK, so he good to go. He can see 2020 now. So yeah, we'll see how he performs this year. Yeah, Redder does not think the Saints will trade for Jimmy. Yeah, I'd be shocked by that. I'd be shocked. Rohan, what's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream. So enjoy my world. I got to go. Great stream. Keep doing your thing. I got to eat. Thanks for coming through. Enjoy my world. Looks like Rohan said Seattle's line is trash. Well, they got Kerry Hyder and they got Carlos Dunlap. I think that's a formidable edge rush. I don't know who their tackles are inside, the defensive tackles, but they got a solid edge rush, and they got Jamal Adams, who's he's a playmaker at the safety position. He can do it all. He can rush the quarterback. He can cover, and he's one of the best safeties in the NFL. Jamal Adams, that is, and they're definitely going to be a tough out. Yeah, and they got Akello Witherspoon. He's solid. He's not a shutdown corner, but Seattle, we already know the toughest person on Seattle is Russell Wilson, the quarterback. So whenever he's in the game, they always got a chance. What's good, Steven? I appreciate your updates in the world of sports, man. San Francisco won't be picking Mac Jones. Why else would they trade up to number? Yeah. That's been the consensus. I don't think you would trade up that much to get Mac Jones when he's projected to go between 10 and 20 in the first round. And, Niners could have stood pat if they wanted to get Mac Jones at number 3. But they wanted to, have their destiny in their hands. And that's why they traded up to get, it's possible they could still get Wilson, Lance, or Fields. So, R&B Bros, which 49ers player do you think will have a breakout year? I'm going to go with Javon Kinlaw. He had a solid rookie year. There obviously he didn't have a normal NFL training camp, mini camp, preseason, anything like that. So hopefully, with what's going on in the world now, Kinlaw will be able to have like a normal NFL offseason. He'll be in an NFL weight program, things like that. Lifting weights and things like that. Hopefully we can have some preseason games. That'll definitely help him out. And I think Kinlaw is primed to have a breakout year, and I think he should be a dominant defensive tackle for sure. Looks like Rohan thinks Brandon. You talking about Brandon Ayuk? Yeah, I mean he had a great rookie season, so yeah, if he could continue to get better, which I expect, then yeah, I think Brandon Ayuk should continue to have a great year. I'm looking to see what Debo does, because Debo had a sophomore slump, this season, unfortunately due to injuries and things like that. So, Debo, I'm looking forward to see him have a bounce back season. Looks like Darsh TV says, do you have a team that you hate? Hate? That's a strong word, Darsh. No, I don't hate no team. I don't mind, the teams in our division, the Seahawks, Cardinals, and Rams. It's all good. It's just football. It's a game. It's a sport. I love talking with the Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals fans. So nah, I don't have a team I hate. Obviously on Sunday, obviously I want us to win, but nah, I don't hate no team. But let's see, R&B Bros, we got to go. Thanks for the shout out, man. Appreciate you guys for coming through the R&B Bros. Make sure you guys check them out. They do great content. They talk about the Niners updates. They talk about the Warriors and all that good stuff. So shout out to the R&B Bros. Appreciate you guys for coming through. It's like Redder says, no, I meant Zach Wilson. Explain. I'm not sure what you mean. R&B Bros, go Niners. Let's go, baby. Looks like Niners all day says everything you just described about a QB Kyle wants is Fields. Yeah, yeah. And Fields has done it at the highest level. He's done it against the fiercest competition, in the Big Ten, and I think that could be a wise move for the Niners to select Justin Fields. So looks like Steven says at Jay and the Bay, the 17th game schedule benefits both our teams. Yeah, I just heard about that before I came on live that the NFL is having a 17 games season, and looks like the Niners are going to play the Bengals in Week 17. So yeah, that should be an easy victory. What a way to go, baby! But yeah, I wonder how the players feel about that. I guess if they're getting more money, I guess yeah. But and of course, as a fan, yeah, I would love to see more football, but we'll see what happens with that. Let's see, Niners all day. If Fields is drafted by the Niners, he'd be fun to watch. Fields to the Bay. Yeah, I mean, that would be very intriguing to watch. And he gets to learn, under the tutelage of Kyle Shanahan and also behind Jimmy G. Looks like a 49ers Ultimate Report. Another great show, Jay in the Bay. Thanks for coming through, 49ers Ultimate Report. Let's see, Niners all day. Let's see, he says Talona Hufunga in the third and Javon Holland or Paris Ford in the second. Yeah, because those are interesting prospects because, obviously before the trade, we were looking to get, the best corner available, at that 12th pick. And obviously that's not going to happen now. So the Niners would definitely need to get, I feel like we need to get, we still need to get a corner, edge rusher. I would say we do need a receiver, but I don't think maybe in the draft. I think we need to get a vet free agent receiver. I know. And speaking of that, I know we drafted or we signed, who was it? Mohamed Sanu. He had a cup of coffee with the team last year. He had some of his best seasons, Mohamed Sanu, that is, with the Atlanta Falcons when Shanahan was offensive coordinator. And he was signed with the team last year. I don't even understand why they cut him last year. He played about 2 or 3 games, maybe because he didn't really have an impact. So that could be why. But yeah, Mohamed Sanu was just signed, I think, yesterday by the Niners. And we also signed a linebacker, Nate Gary, from the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he played special teams a lot, and he did play some defensive snaps as well. So he should be solid on our special teams unit. So welcome to the squad, Nate Gary, Mohamed Sanu. Looks like 49ers Ultimate Report says if Jimmy G has a great year and goes to the playoffs and wins at least one game, the Niners can trade him for a possible first-round pick. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. That's why I feel like the Niners are in a great situation with Jimmy G because, if he doesn't perform well in the first 8 games of the season, let's say we have like a 4-4 record and Jimmy G is throwing the ball, to the opposite team, turning over the ball, isn't looking good, then obviously we could go to the rookie quarterback. Some might say we can even go to Josh Rosen, But going to the rookie quarterback would be interesting. But yeah, if Jimmy G doesn't perform well, then obviously we have a backup option. And then if he does play great, which I would be surprised if he doesn't play well. I mean, Jimmy G should have his best year this year, I feel. He knows that basically Jimmy G is auditioning for 31 teams in the NFL right now. Jimmy G, all eyes will be on him to see how he performs because he's basically playing for his next contract. At the end of next year, most likely the 49ers will move on. And then a team will trade for Jimmy and possibly sign him to a contract extension. And, Jimmy G needs to put on his best performance because he's most likely going to be playing, on a different team next year. So hopefully Jimmy G, lights a fire under Jimmy G. He plays, his best season. I think if he plays similar to how he did in 2019, maybe just less than the INTs, maybe if he has, under double figures in INTs, I think that'd be an excellent season. So if he has 27 TDs, 9 interceptions, I think that's a pretty good year. That's a nice 3-to-1 ratio, touchdown interception. So I think Jimmy G should play one of his best seasons. Hopefully he can stay healthy. That's the thing with Jimmy, is his health. Cooper Gaming, thanks for coming through. Looks like Tanya. First time I've seen you. Thanks for coming through to the stream. Make sure you subscribe to your boy, Jay in the Bay. YouTube, IG, and Twitter. Appreciate you coming through. Looks like Tanya says, I hope they draft Trey Lance. He has a great arm and fits the outside zone scheme for the offense. Yeah, you're the first person that says we should go with Trey Lance. Trey Lance is intriguing. He seems like a more raw option at the quarterback position. Fields has started, several games, over 20 games at Ohio State. And he definitely feels that is more NFL ready. But Lance is kind of like the wild card, like he can do a lot of things. He's being compared to Lamar Jackson, so he would be definitely exciting. They both would be exciting. But I feel like either quarterback, though, I feel like Fields and Lance could do what Shanahan wants them to do at the quarterback position, So I can't wait. Can't wait to see. Let's see. Redder says, yes, sir, Javon Kinlaw, former South Carolina. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what Kinlaw can do again this year. It's like Seahawks Eddie, another Seahawks fan. What's good? Thanks for coming through. Looks like Steven says, I know Alvin Kamara is not taking the extra game news well. Yeah, I heard about that, Steven, before I came on. Kamara, because, the NFL is a game that's all about contact, and these guys are getting hit on every play, especially the linemen. So to put another game on their backs, I'm sure some of the players like Kamara don't like it, and then some of the other players, they do like it. They don't, or to say they don't mind it. But we'll see what happens with that. Let's see. Tanya says, during Trey Lance Pro Day, his representation made play calls for his throws that the 49er use. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, people say that Shanahan's playbook is condensed because of the limitations of Jimmy G. So that's why I'm intrigued. I want Shanahan to pick his quarterback. So that way there's no more excuses. No more excuses from Shanahan. I want to hear nothing about, Jimmy G can't make these throws, so that's why the playbook is condensed and all this. Now, Shanahan, you picked your quarterback, so now the playbook should be wide open when they start, because they say this about Jimmy, but Jimmy's good. And so that's why I want to see who Shanahan picks. Let's see. 49ers Ultimate Report. Trey Lance is my favorite QB for the Niners, but if Zach Wilson or Justin Fields, I still support them. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, honestly, it doesn't matter who Shanahan picks. All that matters is Shanahan picks his guy. That's all I want to know. Who is Shanahan's guy? Who is Shanahan's perfect fit for the system? Because if you're trading all the way to the top 3 pick, you're going to have a nice selection of quarterbacks to pick from. And Shanahan can mold, I feel like, a lot of quarterbacks into who he wants to be at the quarterback position. So if you go Trey Lance, Fields, I don't think they'll go with Mac Jones because it'd be too high. You're not going to pick Mac Jones as the 3rd overall pick. But if you go with Fields or Lance, I feel either one of them will be successful. Fields has played more games, played against tougher competition. And then Lance is like a wild card, and he's a little bit raw. So either quarterback that the 49ers draft, it's either Lance or Fields, they will be going into the best situation with the red and gold, baby. Let's see, Niners all day. I think Lance was a one-year wonder. He's never done that before compared to Fields' 2020 and 2019 stats. He beats him almost all the time. Fields is our guy. Sorry if I'm being repetitive. I just love Fields. I can tell. Niners all day. I appreciate your passion, man. That's very true. The stats don't lie. But Fields, he did throw, 48, I think it was like 40 or 48 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Obviously, the talent, wasn't as difficult as Ohio State, but, that is pretty incredible. It's like Tanya agrees with the 49ers Ultimate Report. Let's see. Niners All Day says Niners didn't even go to Trey Lance's pro day or Max, but went to Zach's and most likely Fields. That says something. Now, that says a lot. That says a lot. Yeah, I wonder why the Niners didn't even go to Lance's pro day. That's interesting. Obviously, they don't feel he must be an option, or they want to trick people. I don't know, because I mean, you really need to go to a pro day. You can watch a pro day, and for me, I think pro days is just. I mean, you don't need to go to a pro day to see if someone can throw the football. All you have to do is put on the tape, baby. Look at their football games. I mean, I like to see how the players, the quarterbacks, did when they have to speak to their offensive linemen in the huddle. You know, they have to walk to the line of scrimmage. They're communicating with their offensive linemen. They're seeing what the defense is doing. They're seeing if the safety comes into the box. They're reading coverages. Like, to me, that's more useful, seeing a quarterback in game compared to just going, on a pro day, throwing against air. All the routes, they already know everything. Like, I just feel like you don't gain much from a pro day. That's just how I feel. But Redder 4 got to go. I appreciate you coming through, Redder. I appreciate you commenting and enjoying the stream. Wallace Smith, what's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. It's like 49ers Ultimate Report says Niners all day. Yes, they did. All 32 teams went to last pro day. Okay, so we're getting conflicting reports if the Niners were actually at Trey Lance's pro day. So I guess we'll have to see if someone else can comment to verify if the Niners were at Trey Lance pro day. Even if they were, you can watch it on TV. I mean, but to me, the pro days are overrated. It's just to get clicks. I mean, I can go in the park. I can look to the right, and I can look to the left. I mean, I can look good in the pro day too, baby. I want to see what you did against actual defense. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I want to see how you perform when the pass rush is coming to you. Do you stare down at the rush, or do you still look up and find the receiver? So Niners all day says he didn't see them there. All right, we got conflicting reports. We'll see. We'll see who was actually there. As like Ty just says, actually the Niners did have some people there. So it's 2 against 1 now. 2 people have confirmed that the Niners were at Trey Lance's pro day. So 49ers Ultra Report says that's true, Tanya. Let's see. Niners all day says, but they didn't send the big guys like Lynch or Kyle or York. I mean, I guess it does say something that the big guys go, but we know that the information, so if Shanahan and Lynch send scouts, that information that the scouts obtain will be given to Lynch and Shanahan. You can rest assured that the information that they get, it's going to be sent to Lynch and Shanahan. That's for sure. So I'm sure they're informed of what went on in the pro day. Looks like Seahawks Eddie says, I heard Kerry Hyder is a backup DN. I mean, he played pretty good starting last year for the red and gold, baby. He was our best edge rusher by far. He had 8 sacks last year, Eddie. I'm sure he's going to start on your Seahawks. I think he signed like a 3-year deal worth up to 18 mil. So that sounds like starter money to me. But we'll see what happens. Wallace says, I think they might get Wilson. Yeah. I mean, it's looking more and more like the Jets are going to select a quarterback because Wallace, if you're the Jets at pick number 2, and if you're sold on Darnold, why wouldn't you trade out of that second spot and get multiple picks to try to build around Darnold? I think that would be in the Jets' best interest. Unless they want to get unless they want to get like the best tackle in the draft. But I believe they already drafted a tackle the previous year. So, but yeah, I think the Jets are going to take Wilson, or at least a quarterback. Tanya says, why did they trade up before seeing Fields pro day? So that's a great question, Tanya. That's something I wanted to bring up. Why did the Niners trade up into the top 3? Great question. I think the allegations of Deshaun Watson, I think that definitely helped the Niners make this decision. I think the Niners were definitely interested in Deshaun Watson, but with these allegations he's receiving off the field, the Niners don't want to, risk trading for Watson, because hell, Watson could be suspended for half the season or the full season, and I think that's what accelerated this move to get into the top three. But I wouldn't be surprised if Shanahan, talked to Robert Saleh. Shout out Robert Saleh. Hope you do well with the New York Jets. Obviously Saleh used to be the defensive coordinator for the Red and Gold. Saleh and Shanahan, I'm sure, have a good relationship. Now, I would be surprised if Saleh told Shanahan who they're picking. I'd be surprised by that. But I wouldn't be surprised if they at least communicated and, they talked about the draft. But obviously, the Jets probably not going to tell the Niners who they're picking. But I think the Niners knew that the Jets probably were going to get Wilson. So they were looking at, okay, we either get Trey Lance or Justin Fields. Those are the next two options. And I'm sure Shanahan feels like he can teach anyone his system and make them the best quarterback they can be. So great question, though, Tanya. It looks like Niners, it's just like 49ers Ultimate Report says, Niners all day, whatever happened, I will still support Wilson's, Fields, or Lance. Exactly. That's what it's all about. Whoever Shanahan gets, I don't really care. I'm going to support whoever he wants. And my trust is in Shanahan. It's in Shanahan and Lynch. I trust both of them. They've turned this franchise around. I can remember, after Harbaugh was fired, there was a lot of lean years with Chip Kelly and Tom Sula. So there were a lot of years where, the 49ers season was over before it started. And the rival of Lynch and Shanahan completely turned this franchise around. So whoever Shanahan wants to draft and mold into the perfect quarterback, I'm okay with. Looks like Niners all day says, why did they trade up during Zach Wilson's pro day? That's a great question. I don't know. The Jets, I know they're interested in getting Zach Wilson, and I think Shanahan is okay with getting either Lance or Fields. It seems like they're okay with that, because if you're the Niners, you would probably try to get into the top two if you could. So that way you could get Zach Wilson. Or maybe you even trade up with Jacksonville. Now, what's interesting, why didn't the Niners, if the Niners really wanted Zach Wilson, why not trade up with Jacksonville? You would get Jacksonville's first round pick, but then obviously Jacksonville wouldn't do that, because then they wouldn't be able to get their quarterback, because then they would have to trade. They would have the 12th pick, and obviously all the great quarterbacks would be gone by then. So obviously that wouldn't work in the Jacksonville Jaguars' favor, but that would be ideal for the Niners. You trade into the number one pick, and then you get, then you can get Zach Wilson. But that's obviously not going to happen. So 49ers Ultimate Report, Tanya, NFL Network said the same thing that you said. Okay. So basically Tanya was saying that all 32 teams, I believe, were at Trey Lance's workout. So let's see. Niners all day says same, but I'll be upset that they take Lance on my eyes. He's not the third overall pick. Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, all we can base this decision on is, at least for me, I don't care about a pro day. I don't care about, all the other things. All I care about is what they do on the field against actual competition. Anyone could throw against air. But when the pressure's on, do you look at the pass rush, or do you still have your eyes up looking at the receivers? And when you look at both quarterbacks, both of them played well, Lance and Fields. Fields obviously did it, played quarterback at a higher level, more consistently, and against better competition. So Fields does have, an advantage there. Looks like LT Trick Shots. Thanks for coming through to the stream. He says, or he or she says, I think they are going to take Fields even if Wilson is on the board. Wow, that's a bold statement right there, LT. Because everyone's saying, oh, well, Zach Wilson was saying ever since he was a child, he loved the Niners and all this stuff, but that doesn't really matter. But that's interesting, because a lot of people are saying Fields is, a lot of people are saying that Wilson is the second best quarterback, in the NFL draft behind Lawrence. So that would be interesting. If the Jets, don't get a quarterback, then I think everyone's mock draft is blown up. Then Niners all day. Watch Trey Lance versus Central Arkansas. He sucked. Yeah, man. Every quarterback's going to have their bad games. Fields has some bad games, in college, but in the NFL, they're going to have some bad games in the NFL too. Just ask Jimmy G. He's had some bad games. Sometimes defenses just have your number, and you don't play your best game. It happens. Niners all day. Why would Kyle all of a sudden just flip a switch and pick a run first over a passer first? That's a good question. Because in Shanahan's, coaching career, he had RG3. I wouldn't necessarily say that RG3 was run first, but he was definitely the most quarterback that RG3 was definitely the most mobile quarterback that Shanahan has coached in his long coaching career. And all the other quarterbacks haven't been, mobile. Matt Ryan, Jimmy G, but Fields, he can run too. He can run just like Trey Lance. It seems like Trey Lance was just quicker to use that run option. And in college, Trey Lance was the fastest guy on the field at every game he played. But in the NFL, it's going to be a little bit different story. He's not going to be the fastest guy. And defenses, everyone's running a 4-4. Everyone is fast. Linebackers, secondary. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Niners all day. Just saying. I feel you. I appreciate your comments. I did see Robert and Lynch talking. Okay. It's like Tanya says, if they pick Fields, I will support that, of course, but I just really love Lance. Yeah. No, I hear you. Let's see. Niners all day. I'm opposite of that. I really love Fields, but I'll support Lance. I'll support anyone. I'll support anyone that Lynch picks. Well, excuse me, that Shanahan picks, because this is clearly Shanahan's pick. 49ers Ultimate Report. He says, I think all the Niners have. He says, I think all Niners have their choice on quarterback, but as a 49er fan for 25 years, let's find the quarterback and support them. If it's Field, Wilson, or Lance. No, I totally agree with you. Whichever quarterback that Shanahan handpicks, I think we'll definitely support, and that's for sure. So, but I want to talk about the current draft order for just a second. The Jags obviously have the first pick. They're scheduled to pick Lawrence. The Jets, they're scheduled to pick Wilson. And then we have a shot at either, Lance or Fields. Then after that, you got the Falcons. So it would be interesting if 4 teams select a quarterback in the first 4 selections of the draft. I don't think that's ever happened before in the NFL draft. That would be history. And I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued for the NFL drafts coming April 29th. And I can't wait for that to come. And definitely we'll be live streaming at least the day of the draft. I'm not sure about during the draft, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Looks like LT Trick Shot says, how did the Dolphins have the 3rd pick if they were 9-7? I think Fields is more mobile than Wilson. I believe the Dolphins have the 3rd pick because they made a trade, and I think it was with the Houston Texans. I think when the Dolphins traded Laremy Tunsil to the Texans gave them 2 first-round picks, I believe. So I think that's how the Dolphins have the 3rd overall pick. I believe it's from the Houston Texans. Comment section. Faithful Niner Empire. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the trade with Laremy Tunsil, and the Texans sent 2 first-round draft picks to the Dolphins, and obviously the Texans last year were pretty bad. So, but let's talk about these draft picks so far, or these quarterback prospects. So, Zach Wilson. They're comparing Zach Wilson to Kyler Murray. That's an interesting comparison. Zach Wilson is about 6'3", 210. Some of his best traits are he's got big playability, he's got deep accuracy, arm strength, release speed is on point, total field vision, and he has the ability to scramble. His biggest question marks, level of competition, and risky decision making. I think as a quarterback, you kind of have to have risky decision making. You want to be able to make a big play. But those are some of the characteristics of Zach Wilson. Now, in Zach Wilson's last year, he completed 73% of passes, 3,600 passing yards, 33 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. That's pretty good coming from Zach Wilson. And we'll see if he is available at pick number 3, but all signs are pointing toward the Jets picking him at number 2. Now, Justin Fields out of Ohio State, 6'3", 228. He's being compared to Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's a solid quarterback. I like Dak Prescott. I think he's solid. He's pretty good. He just hasn't had that playoff success yet, in the NFL, but we'll see if that comes. So Justin Fields, his best traits are he's very athletic. He's got great underneath accuracy. He's tough, and he has good field vision. So obviously, those are all traits that Shanahan would like for his quarterback. His biggest question marks, Justin Fields, is accuracy throwing outside the number. So out routes, fade routes, things like that. And then also the question mark for Justin Fields, I've heard, is his arm strength. So, but Justin Fields in the 2020 season, he completed about 70% of his passes, threw for about 2,100 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 6 INTs. Now, 2020 they only played 8 games. Ohio State did, I believe, due to COVID. I think so they didn't play some of their games. But in 2019, Fields threw for 41 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. I mean, that's pretty incredible, if you ask me, by Justin Fields. Now, let's talk about Trey Lance. Trey Lance, 6'4", 226. He's being compared to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is a pretty good quarterback. Obviously, he can run with the best of them. And there's just questions about his overall accuracy as a passer. That is Lamar Jackson. But some of Trey Lance's best traits, his speed, running ability. Turn on some highlights of Trey Lance, and he just outruns everyone on the field. Now, in the NFL, I don't think it'll be that easy. But some of his other better traits are he's got good deep arm strength. His play mentality, big play mentality, is something that Trey Lance operates with. And he threw no interceptions. Can you believe that? Trey Lance threw no interceptions in 2019. I mean, that's incredible. He completed 66% of his passes, and he threw for 28 touchdowns, and I repeat, 0 INTs. So 2 to 3 great quarterback prospects. I feel like the 49ers can't go wrong in this draft, whether they go with Lance or Fields. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Let's see. So it said, looks like Niners All Day says Fields did face harder competition, so that could be a factor. Yeah, I think that's something you definitely have to factor in. Fields was playing against better talent defensively, and and obviously when you're in the NFL, you're going to be playing against the best of the best. Every player in the NFL was the best in their high school, was the best in college. So you're going to be going up against those type of players, every week. So I think that's definitely something you have to take into consideration. Tanya says, I'm just happy we're getting a quarterback that could be a stud. Yeah. I mean, I can't lie. Like when I first heard the news that the Niners were moving into the top 3, I can't lie. I was excited. I am a Jimmy G fan. There ain't no bigger fan of Jimmy G than me, baby. I was excited to hear about getting into the top 3. I can't lie. Even though I do still support Jimmy G, but unfortunately, Jimmy G, when you get hurt and you can't stay healthy, the team can't rely on you. So that means, that means there's more questions about your ability to stay on the field. And, there's only 16 games in the NFL season, and you can't miss more than half of the games as a quarterback. You just can't. So I find it very intriguing that Kyle Shanahan will finally get his guy at quarterback, so there'll be no more excuses about a condensed playbook and all this stuff. But hopefully Jimmy G balls out this year. Jimmy G, hopefully a fire is lit under Jimmy G, and he's going to, perform. It's like Niners All Day says the Dolphins traded Tunsil. Yeah, exactly. So, that worked out well for the Dolphins. They traded Tunsil, and, now they're going to have I think they still have a top 6 pick, I believe. they traded with Philly to get back into the top 6. I wonder who the Dolphins are going to select. Probably a wide receiver. Looks like Tanya says we should support McDonald's Jones. That's funny. Absolutely, I would. If Shanahan thinks that's the third best quarterback, then yeah, man. Shanahan knows he's forgot more football than we all know. I mean, this is what he does. This is his profession. His dad was a head coach. He's been he's been around the game all his life. Shanahan knows quarterbacks, and if he feels like Mac Jones is the best option, then that's what he feels, and definitely I will support that. Niners All Day says at number 3 I'd be mad, but I'd force myself to like the pick. Yeah, yeah, because I trust in Shanahan and Lynch. Like we've had, like I said, we had some dark days before they got here, and I believe in them. I believe in their decision making. They've hit on a lot of players in the draft. They've had some misses, but they've also had some excellent selections in the draft. And Shanahan is the quarterback whisperer. He's a guru. So I believe he can mold the quarterback to his liking, and the team will be successful. Like Tanya says, you're correct. What's good, Nico? Thanks for coming through. He says, do you think we are just trying to get in the top 10 and possibly can trade back to 4 or 5 to get more draft capital and pick up Malcolm? No. Nah. It's too late. Too late for all that. Nah. The reason I say that is because we've already given up 4 picks. We've given up our first round. That was originally the 12th pick. We've given up next year's first and third round pick, and then 2023's first round pick. So we've given up 4 draft picks to move 9 spots to get into the top 3. There's no way the Niners trade back. No way. I think we get a quarterback at pick 3. Shanahan's going to pick his guy. Let's see. 49ers Ultimate Report. Sup, Nico? Thanks for coming through. Niners All Day. Let me guess. You're going to talk about Justin Fields. Fields, outside the numbers, is not bad. Watch the film. He throws great balls. What are those reporters talking about? And I'm not not shooting the messenger. It must be consistently outside the numbers. Maybe there are other quarterbacks who have been better. But, maybe Ohio State didn't ask him to do that much. But we'll see. Because, when you're a quarterback, you have to throw the receiver open. And what I mean by throwing the receiver open is you have to throw them the ball before they're literally open, before they make their cut. If they're running a 12-yard out route, when they stick their inside leg and, they turn around for the ball to go to the out, the ball should already be there. And that's what you have to do, because you can't wait till receivers open to throw the ball in the NFL. Usually a corner, if you wait until the receiver's open to throw the ball, usually the corner is already on the wide receiver's hip and he's ready to catch the ball for interception and run it back to the house. So that's what will be key. Can these quarterbacks throw their receivers open? Can they read the defense? And we really won't know that until they get drafted and they start practicing up against NFL talent. So Niners All Day. You don't trade up just to trade back. Yeah, I agree. I agree, especially with all that capital. Yeah, you don't do that. I don't anticipate the Niners trading down. No way. Niners All Day. See, now if Kyle, the man himself, goes to Fields Pro Day, book it. He's the pick at number 3. Well, we'll see. We'll see, because Zach Wilson could be there at pick 3. Most likely not, but we don't know if the Jets are sold on Darnold. It appears they're not, because if you're the Jets at 2, why wouldn't you trade down, so that way you can get more picks and you can continue to build around Darnold. So, but we'll see. 49ers Ultimate Report. I'm saying I like Lance, but Fields is looking like the choice. You're not wrong about Fields. I won't be mad if Fields is his pick. Yeah, I feel the same way. John J. 49ers Ultimate Report. I feel the same way. If the Niners select Fields or Lance, I mean, I'll be happy with the pick. I don't mind, because, it's not about what you necessarily do in college. The work is just begun once you get into the NFL, once you start studying the playbook, once you start working out on the NFL level. Once you start, it's all about the time you put in the NFL. You got to be able to read defenses. You got to know what everyone else on the field is doing. You got to know your protections and things like that. So you can be great in college, but it doesn't mean you're going to be great in the NFL. And whichever quarterback is drafted by the Niners, they're going to be in the best situation compared to the Jaguars. They're rebuilding. The Jets, they're rebuilding. The Falcons, they're not rebuilding, but I don't think anyone thinks that the Falcons are a contender, in the NFC South. So whichever quarterback that gets drafted by the Niners will definitely be in the best situation because we're in the situation to win now. So it's like Random Electronic 2.0. Thanks for coming through to the stream. There's no universe where you pick Lance over Fields if the assumption is you want a dual threat quarterback. Yeah. And I don't know if Shanahan wants a dual threat quarterback. He's never drafted a dual threat quarterback before. The only quarterback that the 49ers have drafted is C.J. Beathard. He's definitely not considered a mobile quarterback. So I don't know if Lynch values that. But there was a quote taken by a reporter. I think it was by NBC Sports reporter Matt Mayoko. He said that Shanahan said he's more open to deploying a mobile quarterback as long as sacrificing accuracy and pocket presence are not the trade-offs. So by that statement, Shanahan definitely tells you what he wants. He wants, accuracy, and he wants pocket presence, and that's what he feels is most important. He would rather have those traits than a mobile quarterback. So, and those are very important. You got to feel the rush without looking down at it. You got to be accurate with the football, and you can't turn the ball over, baby. Because football is pretty simple. Whoever wins the trenches and the turnovers, that's usually who wins the game. And I think that was pretty evident in the Super Bowl last year because the good old Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the brakes off them good old Chiefs. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers controlled the line of scrimmage, and they didn't even allow a touchdown in the Super Bowl. So it's all about the trenches and turnovers. Nico says, I don't feel like we gave up our 12th. We just upgraded it. So really, we only traded 2 first rounds and a third. Well, let's see. Well, yeah. I mean, you could say that. But giving up all that compensation, that's a lot just to trade down. I just don't think the Niners would do that. Now, a case could be made that, the Niners are still a contending team. So those first round picks, in 2022 and 2023, they're really going to be at the end of the draft. So they're basically like, early second round picks. But, obviously the Niners, we don't intend on picking, at the beginning of the first round in any draft anytime soon because we're a contending team. So just like Tanya says, we will see. Random Electric 2.0. Trey Lance has 318 pass attempts to his name, and 286 of those were 2 years ago. He has less experience against lower competition in a scenario with Fields versus Lance. It's Fields 10 times out of 10. Yeah, that was one of the biggest reasons for Fields is because he's played at a higher level over the past 2 seasons, and he's played against better competition. So that's definitely a big plus for Fields. Nico says, do you think there's a possibility the Jets like Lance and could possibly have a competition between him and Darnold? Then we grab Wilson. That would be interesting, but I just haven't seen it, on the mock drafts. It doesn't – I don't know if the Jets were at Lance's pro day or not. I don't know. But but that would be a surprising pick if they picked Trey Lance over Zach Wilson. But we'll see what happens. Looks like Niners All Day says Ultimate Report okay. 49ers Ultimate Report says plus Fields, Wilson, or Lance not start week 1 because they're going to be learning Kyle's offense. No, I totally agree. If the Niners weren't a contending team and, we were just, like a 2-14 team the previous year, we weren't looking to contend, then I would say, oh yeah, go ahead and start the rookie quarterback, kind of like how Burrow did with the Bengals. But since we're a contending team, we're going to face off some tough competition in that good old NFC West with Dunlap and Hyder in Seattle coming off the edge, Donald and Leonard Floyd with the Rams, and Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt in Arizona. Do you really want to have a rookie quarterback go against those three different defenses? I don't think so. I think we good with Jimmy G. The rookie quarterback comes in, learns Kyle's offense, learns behind Jimmy G, and hopefully this lights a fire under Jimmy G because he's got to know. He's not dumb. He knows the writing's on the wall. And right now, he's auditioning for all 31 teams or all other 31 teams in the NFL. So it's like Niners All Day says at Random Electric. That's what I'm saying. Niners All Day says Fields is all that Kyle is looking for. Yeah, we shall see. It's like Nico says, ain't nothing finer than the true 49er. That's right. It's like 49ers Ultimate Report says, Nico, that's true. And Niners All Day says, Zach Wilson did say he wants to be a Niner, so maybe he's the move. Yeah, I mean, a lot of players want to be a lot of players want to be on the 49ers. That red and gold uniform, the best looking uniform in the NFL. I remember Aaron Rodgers said, he wanted to be a 49er. He grew up a 49er fan, and the Niners passed up on him. But this will definitely be an intriguing draft. I can't wait to see who Shanahan picks in this draft because I want to see who is Shanahan's guy. That's what it's going to come down to. Who does Shanahan want? As his quarterback. This is the first time Shanahan is going to handpick his quarterback, and it's going to be a great night, draft night. I can't wait. Looks like Nico says, I just feel solid like those types of quarterbacks, being he can't stop them. LOL. Yeah, this is a great point. We had trouble stopping mobile quarterbacks when Solid was here. I mean, Kyler Murray is he's a problem in our division. Even when the pass rush comes in and makes Murray move up into the pocket, he can just go to the right, go to left. He extends plays, throws the wide receivers open, but Salah's not making this pick. This is the new GM Joe Douglas's pick. I'm sure he's making the pick. Salah's a defensive guy. I'm sure he doesn't have much input on this decision at all on any personnel. Let's see, Niners All Day. I mean, if you can play with Kittle, and Debo, who wouldn't? No, I agree. I think we have the best talent offensively and defensively, in the draft as far as a rookie quarterback coming into a situation. Because, a lot of quarterbacks, it's all about the situation you come into, Like, I remember years ago when the Houston Texans became a new franchise and they drafted, David Carr. And, it was a terrible situation for him. I believe one year he got sacked like over 70 times. And maybe he's not a bad quarterback, but it's all about the situation you go into. With the Niners, you got talent on both sides of the ball. You'll be under the tutelage of Kyle Shanahan. So what could be better? Looks like 49th Ultimate Report says, Jay, if there was no draft, Lawrence, Wilson, or Fields would want to sign with the 49ers. Absolutely. I think if there's no draft and basically all the college players were free agents, I think the 49ers wouldn't have to do anything. They would just sit back and the players would come to them, and the 49ers would have to choose which player they want because, you want to go to Jacksonville. They were building a team. They got Urban Meyer coming in. I don't think he's ever coached at the NFL level, but he's a hell of a college coach. You got the Jets rebuilding. They've been a terrible franchise ever since Rex Ryan left. They can't get it right, and they're rebuilding. You got the ATL Falcons, and they're a good franchise, but they've been on a decline ever since Shanahan's left ATL. So the Niners definitely are in the best situation. And you live in the Bay Area and you're rich. What could be better? Looks like Random Electric says, I'm honestly surprised Kyle has made the switch to dual threat if he has. I have championed this for years. This offense with a competent passing quarterback who can take off will be unstoppable. No, I agree. And I think Shanahan does value that, but he just doesn't. Shanahan wouldn't want Lamar Jackson, I don't think, because he's not accurate with the football on a consistent enough basis. So he doesn't want. I think he would rather have. I'm trying to think who is. He would rather have a more accurate quarterback who's less mobile. I think that's what Shanahan would rather have. A quarterback who can read the defense, throw open receivers, is accurate outside the numbers. He'd rather have that than a mobile quarterback. Let's see. LT says, do you think Bosa has a chance at Defensive Player of the Year? Absolutely. We'll see how he comes back after that torn ACL, but Bosa is definitely one of the best defensive ends in the NFL, possibly the best, top 3 defensive ends in the NFL. And I can't wait to see him in red and gold. I can't wait to see him healthy, and hopefully he can play a full 16 games. Niners all day. Who do you personally want at QB? I want the QB who wins us a Super Bowl. That's right. So, yeah, I don't really care who Shanahan gets because Lance, he's looked good in college. Fields has looked good in college. Mac Jones has looked good in college. I don't care who the Niners get. I'm going to support whoever Shanahan drafts, but, no excuses. No more excuses, Shanahan. That playbook better be wide open when a rookie quarterback starts, because that's all we're hearing. Oh, the playbook is condensed because Jimmy can't make the throws, I don't want to hear that no more. I just want an open playbook. No excuses. Doesn't matter who Shanahan drafts, because Shanahan will mold them into the quarterback he wants. So, and that's what I want to see. Shanahan is a quarterback whisperer. He's the guru at that. So, Shanahan, who's your guy? That's what I want to know. Shanahan, who is your guy? Looks like Random says, yeah, if he stays healthy. Uh-oh. Kirk Cousins? You brought Kirk Cousins into the conversation? What? Yeah, I mean, Shanahan, he likes Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is solid. He can definitely throw the ball well. He hasn't always played big in the biggest moments, and he hasn't had much playoff success. As Kirk Cousins, I think he did beat the Saints last year, I believe, in the playoff game. But other than that, he hasn't had a lot of playoff success. You're definitely right about that, Random. Kyle does love him some Kirk Cousins. It's like Nico says, I do like Lance behind Jimmy G for I feel like we're in win now mode, and we can do that with Jimmy if healthy and all weapons on the field. I feel the same way, Nico. Like if it was me, I wouldn't have traded up in the top 3. But I can't lie, it's exciting to get a young rookie quarterback that Shanahan can mold. But yeah, I think with a healthy Jimmy G, this team is ready to win right now. Right now. We got weapons all over the field, and we're in good shape. I feel like with a healthy Jimmy, he can lead us back to the playoffs. Because, last year, if Jimmy G played a full 16 games, I think we definitely would have went to the playoffs. What do you guys think? Do you think if, Jimmy was healthy for all 16 games, do you think we would have went to the playoffs? I think so. Libby's World, thanks for coming through. Hot digging it dog. What's good, Libby's World? Thanks for coming through. Let's see. Niners All Day says, I've said it once, and I've said it, wife, I've said it 1 million times. Fields to the Bay. That's funny. Let's see. He said it twice. Yes, you've been definitely on the Justin Fields, bandwagon, Niners All Day. So if he gets Justin Fields, I know you will be thrilled. That's for sure. So so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I brought up a point earlier that if Jimmy G, since the writing's on the wall for Jimmy G. Should we stick with Jimmy G through next season, or should we start the rookie quarterback? Let me know what you guys think in the comments who haven't already answered that. In my opinion, I think we should stick with Jimmy G for next year. Obviously, when healthy, I think he gives us the best opportunity to win than starting a rookie quarterback. And Niners All Day says he's on the field, trash. True, true. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what comes to fruition. But yeah, I can't wait for the NFL draft. Whether we get Fields or Lance, I don't think either one of them. Hopefully, either one of them starts game one, because for a contending team, it's best we keep Jimmy G. I think he gives us the best chance to win because there's a big transition going from college to NFL. And the biggest difference is the speed factor. And, the rookie quarterback has to learn the playbook. He's got to learn what everyone else does on the field. He's got to be able to read defenses in 2 to 3 seconds after he snaps the ball. So those are all things that, that's why I think Jimmy G still excels at. So looks like 49ers Ultimate Report says, Jay, if Jimmy G was the quarterback all year, yes, they would have. Exactly. You feel me, John Jay? So, yeah, if Jimmy G was healthy last year, I think we definitely would have definitely still gone to the playoffs. So that's why I think we give Jimmy G one more shot. Hopefully he'll ball out. He'll play, with the fire lit under him because he knows he's auditioning for other teams. And I think that'll definitely make us a better team because Jimmy G will play better. Also, Jimmy G should play like he's got nothing to lose, right? If Jimmy G, the first 8 games, if he struggles, he'll sit on the bench, he'll still earn his check, and most likely he'll get cut or traded next year. And Jimmy G is still a solid quarterback. If Jimmy G balls out, gets us into a deep playoff run, we can we would trade him in the offseason to a team that wants him, and then he would probably get a lucrative contract extension. So the ball's in Jimmy G's court, and he's in a great situation. He wins, he gets traded, he still gets his money. If he loses, or if he struggles, he sits on the bench. He doesn't get hurt. He doesn't risk getting hurt, and he gets traded at the end of the year. So Jimmy G's in a good situation. Niners all day. Choo, choo. We still going. Wow, that's funny. But I appreciate everyone joining me today on this glorious Sunday evening, talking about them good old red and gold, baby. Let me know if you guys have any other comments, any questions. I definitely am enjoying doing these live streams with you guys and girls. I love converting back and forth, talking about them good old red and gold. So I can't wait for the draft. Let's see, we're like what a month away. I think we're exactly a month away from the draft, April 29th. I definitely got to continue live streaming, and I can guarantee you this, I'll probably do a live stream the day of the draft, like maybe like an hour or two before. And we'll talk about the latest news that's going on in the NFL and who we might draft, because things could change. You never know. Possibly I might do a live stream during the draft. Let me know if you guys be interested in that. Let me know. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. And I can't wait for the season to start, because I'm definitely going to be doing more live streaming during the season as well. But let's see. Looks like 49ers Ultimate Report says, I hope this happens. Jimmy G leads the team to a playoff and then gets traded for a first-round pick and draft Wilson or Fields. Yeah, that would be a perfect scenario for the Niners. Jimmy G, leads the team to the playoffs. We're on a high note going into, it helps his career. It helps Jimmy to play well because he's auditioning for other teams. So, hopefully, Jimmy G plays well. He's got the fire lit under him, and he feels the pressure. Jimmy G needs to feel the pressure. Jimmy G needs to know that there's another quarterback behind him that can take his job. So, looks like Niners All Day says, great show, my man. I appreciate you coming through, and I appreciate all your comments. Just like Nico says, what do you see our offense like with Trains behind the center, then with Kyle playbook? And if Jimmy gets traded, do you think he starts? Uh, so at the end of next season, when Jimmy gets traded, I think a team would start Jimmy. I mean, he would still be getting paid. Excuse me. Jimmy would still be getting paid about what, like $24 million a year. So I don't think anyone would pay a backup quarterback that. But yeah, I think a team would definitely trade for Jimmy, and they would want him to be their starter. You know, it could be, I don't know, like in a year things change. But yeah, I definitely think a team would trade for Jimmy to be their starter, at least for that year, because he would still have a year left on his contract. So they could play out that year and see if they want to re-sign Jimmy to a longer extension. And then you said, what do you see our offense like with Trains behind the center and with Kyle playbook? I mean, so I guess if Justin Fields is the quarterback, maybe they'll do more read option plays, because I feel like Fields is he can be a dual threat in college. He's not as fast as Trey Lance, but maybe they'll add that option. I mean, if you do a read option play maybe about 4 times a game, you're looking for like one big play where the defensive end, crashes down on the running back, and then Justin Fields will keep the ball and he'll run outside the pocket. You're only looking for that play, maybe about 4 times a game where you get a big run. So I can see them maybe doing more of that. We'll see how Justin Fields performs in the NFL, because, Jimmy G he can throw the ball well. Jimmy G can throw the ball well. He's got a quick release. He can throw inside, outside the numbers. I think Jimmy gets a little, I don't think Jimmy trusted his offensive line. And I think that's part of the reason, because when the rush comes, sometimes Jimmy G does well. He either steps up into the pocket or he holds on the ball a little bit. Sometimes his pocket presence for Jimmy G, sometimes I feel like it could be better. Like, you should be able to feel the rush, get rid of the ball. Sometimes he takes unnecessary sacks. But we'll see. We'll see what because I want to see how the playbook will be, opened up. Because right now, supposedly the playbook is like, this big, and supposedly when another quarterback comes in, it's gonna be huge. Like, so I want to see that too. I want to see what else Shanahan that has up his sleeve. He says, 49ers Ultimate Report. Absolutely, yeah, we should definitely do a show one day for sure, man. We just got to pick a time when me and you are available, and we could definitely do it for sure. I'm down. And looks like Niners All Day says, anyone hopping on the train? Choo choo, all aboard. Well, thank you guys for all commenting. Thank you for conversing with me. Yo, boy, Jay in the Bay. Make sure you guys follow me, Twitter, IG. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to your boy on YouTube. And I appreciate everyone coming through. Let me know if you got any more comments. If not, I'll see you later. But I appreciate everyone conversing with me on the show. And got to do another live stream real soon. And looks like Niners All Day says, great show. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming through. And I guess I will holler at you guys later. Thanks for tuning in to your boy, Jay in the Bay. Go Niners. Go Niners. See y'all later.